It's Memorial Day in Israel, and thus there are no rehearsals today of the Eurovision Song Contest. Still, we're going to talk about what we have seen so far, what we can expect in the upcoming days, and I will do that with our chief editor, Steef van Gorkum from ESC Daily. To kick it off, your usual question, annual question, after we have seen all the semi-final participants, have we seen a winner yet?
Well, I would like to think that we saw the winner yesterday, but it's just a question of who was it? Because it was such a big day, of course, with the two big betting favorites coming on stage, Duncan Lawrence from the Netherlands, Sergei Lazarev from Russia. And then there was also a third one which just jumped in at the end, Azerbaijan, with a great rehearsal. I'm not totally convinced that it has winning potential, but it was much better than anyone expected, and it's shoot up with the bookmakers. So it was a very interesting day yesterday.
From the other 3 days, is there a winner in there? I would say Sweden can be ruled out, of course, but apart from that?
Yes, well, like you said, Sweden can never be ruled out. Switzerland rehearsed, as I said before, in the item which you can see on escdaily.com. I don't think that song has winner potential. It was staged and performed adequately fine. It was just didn't shout winner to me. Sweden was good. Sweden was basically what we expected from it. You know that they always do their best to repeat the Melody Festival and performance to the best of their abilities. And they've done that here as well. They took the stadium light. They had to make some changes to it, but it's still there. It still has a nice influence at the end because it starts very dark and then it gets more light towards the end, and it's very cheerful, of course. I still think that Lundvik is more of a jury-friendly act than I'm not so convinced that he can win the televote, but maybe he doesn't need to win Eurovision.
Going to ask the same question about both Netherlands and Russia. What's in favor of them winning Eurovision, and what's their weakness why they won't win Eurovision? Let's start with the Netherlands. Their upside, their positive points and negative points.
Positive sides. They've already received a lot of attention, being bookmakers' favorites. The fact that they have the strongest song, possibly in the competition, and the fact that they have the song is also technically very difficult to sing. If Duncan Lawrence pulls it off, which he did yesterday at the rehearsal, I think, if he pulls that off at the jury rehearsal and at the live show, TV show as well, then they have a song that's very difficult to sing, but very well sung. So he will receive at least a lot of jury points for that. That's in favor of him. Against him, as good as he sings, I don't think he looks very comfortable on stage just yet. He doesn't connect with the camera that easily. That's the main downside for the Netherlands for me right now.
What about Russia?
As for Russia, I think what Sergei Lazarev has done well is that the staging is very subtle enough so that juries can still connect to it. He shows more vocal power in this song as well than he did, for example, in 2016 when he took part. He's a superstar, so he will always receive televotes as well. That's the biggest upside for him. He basically ticks all the boxes. The problem could be that this is the type of song that's in its molto drammatico is very much Eastern, Southern Europe, and we still have to see how it fares in the Northwest.
Cool, we'll see how that goes. We will talk about these two countries more in the upcoming week, I predict, about the Netherlands and Russia.
We will, and we have a full day today to discuss it because we don't have any other rehearsals to see. We will, of course, go to some of the hotels to speak to some participants, do some interviews, but yes, we have a lot of
Going
time
for
left.
some better love, hint, hint.
Yes, exactly. So stay tuned to ESC Daily because we got a very interesting interview for you to come up today.
Yeah, and the podcast tomorrow morning, of course, will be about semi-final 1, and let's try to filter some first thoughts on who will qualify, who won't qualify. You're of course invited to do that as well beneath this YouTube video of this podcast. Thank you for listening. Have a nice day and see you tomorrow.